Hello, everybody, and welcome to Esports U, broadcasting NJCAAE. My name is Keel Miles on the mic with Lyric, and we're getting ready to go into a nice community college matchup with, actually, my hometown, Montco Community College, stepping up with the Mustangs, bringing out, I think we have Borp representing Montco.
Yeah. So, fun fact, Kilo, we're both kind of very close to Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania, so this is kind of like our hometown versus, of course, Heartland Community College, the Hawks. We are going to be seeing D. Is it going to be DD Lop or are we
I
going to go
think
with
DD
Lop?
Lop.
All right, we're going to go DD Lop. We're going to do the whole thing versus Borp. And we've discovered that both of these players are actually tournament players. So we never actually get to see too many of, tournament player versus tournament player going at it. But now we actually get to see tournament player versus tournament player here in a very interesting matchup. So I'm very excited to see how this one's going to go in the best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting into later in the season, and a lot of teams earlier in the season will let their newer players, take a swing, and then they look at their match differential and they're like, "Ooh, wait, hold up. Let's get the top of the dogs in there." So that's what we're most likely going to be seeing coming out here from these players. They both gotten wins in tournament. They've never, they're not out there winning, but they're getting very admirable and hey, players will tell you it is not easy to go 2-2 in a tournament. It's something like people talk down on 2-2ers. 2-2ing is hard.
It's very hard these days, honestly. With 86 characters in this game, there's a ton of matchups that you need to learn. There's a lot of gimmicks that you kind of have to avoid as well. So, definitely not the easiest of games to be playing right now. Of course, any esports going to be really difficult. But I think we are going to be going right to Town and City for our first game of the set here. Very interesting pick, especially in the matchup that we're going to be seeing Joker versus Yoshi. I actually think this is a terrible stage for Yoshi, especially off the top with the high ceilings.
Yeah. Yoshi loves to kill from there, and with Joker's ledge trapping leading into back airs that even at like middling percents, Yoshi is very heavy, but an Arsene back air off of a correct ledge trap read could just be your death, and
Yeah.
that's not what you're looking for. Additionally, ooh, I just realized tech chases on those side platforms with Joker back air. Ooh, that's gonna pack a punch too.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think this is going to be a very interesting matchup, especially. We do know that both players do have a couple of secondaries on the side. So I'm expecting to see maybe a switch or two, depending on how the first game is going to go. But once again, I really want to see these two players, especially because they do play in tournament, really go at it. Don't want to see a blowout. I really want to see like a game 5, really clean play from both of them.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And one thing I do want to note, Borp named after a famous PA Smash player, or maybe this, happy coincidence. But either way, I feel like they're doing that player proud because Borp in the other game also picked a high tier, also demolished people who thought they were just going to have a blowout. So we'll see if Borp can do that namesake justice. As we said, it's going to be Monco's Borp against PD.
Yeah, how they're going to be able to get around some of this great movement already by Borp. I love the way that Borp is actually using the Joker gun, but one thing that Yoshi does really best is zone with a lot of those eggs. So DD Lop already going to play really aggressive onto the shield, which I can agree with. I want to see Borp go in and get these grabs just when I was about to say it. Looking really good so far from both players.
One weakness Joker does have is relatively not the greatest out of shield options, and you can see BDLop is already punishing that. Landing around Borp with very safe aerials and shielding and getting punishes afterward when they're the one who hit Borp's shield. For that, ooh.
Yeah, no, hitting the Rebels Guard definitely not where you want to be, especially right now versus Yoshi. Big Brother Arsene is going to come out now. Nice Nair. Do you feel like Borp needs to play a little bit more aggressive and kind of chill with some of the projectiles being thrown out? Well, yes, they're good and they do a ton of damage and they help you chip. That Arsene meter does go down after a fair share amount of time, so you definitely want to use the most of it and even get some extra credit on your next stock.
Yeah, don't mind Borp playing safe. It's in general, though, I agree with you. you're losing your window right here. And now that the platforms are going away too, I called out those tech chases earlier. You do not want to be fighting against Yoshi, where now with Rage, up tilt up air might just kill even with the low ceilings,
Yeah,
or
for
high
sure.
ceilings.
Back air is going to come out, but unfortunately nowhere sent, so it's not going to be as strong. Orp once again just doing their best to continue tacking on the damage. The stars are actually going to take over from the Rebels Guard here. Orp though saving your jump as usual, what you should be doing, of course, and we're just going to be seeing this neutral from both players looking really good so far. 2 minutes into the match, not one stock has been taken until this point right here with the down smash.
Yeah, eventually you just gotta go for a no-nonsense option like that. Like, when you're just swinging and missing, swinging and missing, that's when Bullet finally found their mark with that F-smash, and now, racking up some damage, gets the nice little chip with the back air.
I also really
now,
like the...
now that they have our set.
I really like the F tilt coming out from Borp as well, like just to kind of like poke away the Yoshi shield, using Arsene a little bit more smart now at this point. All right, I like the egg on there to essentially prevent the egg. Borp though gonna go down all the way for the dare. Here we go, ED Lop. This is opportunity, but you went too far out off the side, and you were talking about this a little bit earlier, Kilo. These sides are not very back air friendly.
No, they're certainly not. And while Yoshi can benefit from that too, it is Bork with the slower playstyle that's giving them the edge right here. Now, getting that grab after that, but ooh, that's not quite safe on him, even in the air. And Diddy goes right down to the ground to get the up smash.
All right, here we go though. Borp just trying to find a way back in. Once again, DD Lob just trying to mix up their approaches as well. Okay, gonna be able to find the fair. Unfortunately, the egg is reversed. Still gonna be able to find the Nair out of shield here. Gonna be able to also pick up off of the up tilt. Things are looking a little bit better, but Borb, once again, just gonna put up this wall of aerials where DD Lab doesn't really understand how they can get in safely.
They don't. I do like, though, that they're making sure that these untrue punishes are not working out. DD Lop knows when to jump, knows when to nair. But even so, even if you're escaping combos, it doesn't matter because Bork with their slow play style is always starting another punish right afterwards. Even if you escape the first one is now, woo, seeing that counter come out terrified me, but now DD has to land somehow, no jump.
Yeah, fortunately, the Aga from Borb not going to be placed perfectly there. There comes Borb, though, just trying to get some gun movement here. But the down smash once again going to pick up, and that is game one going on over to Montgomery County Community College. Looking good so far on the Joker. Definitely a stage swap for sure that needs to happen right now.
Yeah, I do agree with you right there. It can be a little tricky, and I do know sometimes Yoshi does like to have a lot of platform versatility with things like be reversing all over those platforms, getting some nice movement tricks. However, it wasn't really a factor with how Borp was playing. I mean, like you said, very projectile heavy to start out. And while I do have to commend DD Lop's mentality, it didn't look like that they got flustered and just started throwing buttons out there. They still couldn't really find a way through that wall that Borp was putting up.
Yep, for sure. I also think that one thing that DD Lop may need to kind of adjust to is just to look out for some of these interesting side B placements by Borp as well. Feel like some of them may be a little bit unsafe, so I'm trying to see a little bit more kind of like bait and punish out of it as well. There is a fair share amount of ending lag on that move as well that Yoshi, especially out of all characters, can punish very, very safely.
Yeah, fastest aerial speed in the game right there. Once they accelerate, oof, you're not getting past them. And with an approaching Nair, sometimes you can just clank with Iha. And if you're able to do that, landing Nair for Yoshi, soft hit Nair, combos into quite a lot at low percents. You can do a attack cancel back air right out of it. You can sometimes get an up tilt depending on how they DI it. But either way, a lot of opportunities right there with using that airspeed like you called out.
Yep. I am reading the player chat right now. Borp, of course, is going to stay with the Joker, which I definitely do not disagree with. We know that DD Lob does play a lot of characters, though. I think I remember Yoshi, Falco, and Marth. I don't think that Marth deserves this showtime just yet, Definitely want to see the Falco, though. I think Falco can be played really well in this matchup as well. It's essentially back air versus back air on that one via Arsene and, of course, Rage back air, which can KO across the entire stage. So let's see where this one's going to go. But I actually think Falco is a much better matchup.
Yeah, I would agree with you right there. There's so many different ways you can catch people off guard with Falco, with the fact that so many of his aerials have those interesting landing hitboxes that can trip some people up, especially with characters with slower out of shield options like Joker. If you're able to bait an out of shield option and then they try to throw something out and then they just get hit by the landing hitbox, that's an opening for you and an opening for Falco. Ooh, you can ride that way all the way to the bank.
Very true. Do see that we are going to be going to PS2, PlayStation 2, or Pokemon Stadium 2. This is a great neutral stage. I think it's one of the best neutral stages. I know for a lot of people, they always just like to start with this stage. The platform layout, the size of it as well, is just commonly very liked by all, competitive tournament players. Once again, I do want to see the matchup change up just a little bit, though.
Yeah, I do think that could be very interesting. I do know these players who have a lot of characters. They definitely have a favorite one. I saw from the movement that Lop was throwing out that they definitely had some of the Yoshi sauce, but you don't get to connect it. And that's the thing about, oh, well, your wish comes true.
It's like I'm a commentator. It's my job to kind of call these things out.
Yeah.
All right, Falco. This one's going to be interesting because just as much as Borp would throw the side B, I think Lop now has the ability to kind of fire back with the projectile of his own, just like the Falco laser. Now, if Borp is really smart, they're going to take advantage of using that to actually fill up some meter. But Lop already playing so much more comfortably, going to get the rapid jab into the fair. I want to see some really active edge guards, though.
Yeah, those active edge guards are going to be so important. As now Lop getting tech chased. Playing on the center stage, Lop is fishing for this landing there. You want that right there where no platforms can knock through, but instead they just shark them instead. Some nice damage right here. Lop definitely practiced on this character, and there's an aggressive edge guard.
Yeah, that was crazy. The falling laser just out there. I felt like that was supposed to be a fair, but speaking of just unfortunate things happening off the ledge, Borp unfortunately going to fall to their death, even with Arsene as well. Going to pick up the combo right back up.
Now, these lasers are actually disrupting Borp's gameplay a lot. They were playing projectile heavy in the initial stage, but right now, it's Lop who's completely controlling the pace of this game. Borp trying to get an opening with that landing rebel card, but a bit of a stutter here. We're trying war. Uh-oh. We'll see if we can get through this.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Hopefully, it was just us getting kicked out of the arena. It wasn't the players. I'm so sad about that game because things were looking so much better on the side of Lop, especially. I think the Falco was playing so much more aggressive than the Yoshi was, and that just fall off the stage laser was so creative, just trying to take the jump as well. So I'm so sad that we're not going to be able to see that game. Hopefully, we'll be able to join in on game 3. So just give us a quick moment to jump back in that arena.
Yep. We'll be getting in there soon enough, but I do want to return while we're waiting to that recovery you called out, because you were the one who said aggressive edge guards are going to be the name of the game, and I remember I heard that, I'm like, yeah, Joker down guns, blah, 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 blah. But no, there's a different gun that's coming into play off stage. I love that because they save their jump right there, and Falco with one of the highest double jumps in the game. Is it actually the highest?
I think so. It has to be the highest. I don't think of any other character that jumps high. I know there are faster characters than Falco, like the Aegis, but definitely not jumping higher than Falco, especially just normal jumps.
Yeah, so by saving that double jump, they're able to just get right back to ledge, even with their short, stubby up B.
Yeah, stubby up B is definitely for sure. I do think that Falco does have the shortest fire formation of all 3 species, Fox, Wolf, and of course Falco. The shine is also very different, as the shine will actually extend past Falco's body. We didn't see too much of that shine being used there, especially you can also use that versus Aha and Aegon too. So once again, we'll hopefully be able to see that in game 3. But for now, we just got to hold tight just a little bit longer.
Yeah. And with that, I just want to thank the audience all for your patience. Like we said, thanks Nintendo. We do our best. We use all sorts of revolutionary new technologies to make this work, but in the end, we can't change the way the netcode is, well, coded. So we work with it as best we can, just as you do if you're playing on Nintendo Online at home. So again, thank you all for your patience as we're looking to hopefully get back into this soon. I This could be an interesting one if Heartland is able to bring it back after how that game one. I mean, game one was Borp all the way.
Yeah.
They were completely dominating the match, but with the Falco switch that you called, that seems honestly like it revolutionized everything.
Yeah, the confidence for Didi Lop definitely went up in that, first couple seconds that we were able to see. Falco Fair as well, definitely one of those awkward moves that has like a multi hitbox and of course a landing hitbox as well. So if Falco hits that, off of a short hop, not only will it drag you down, but there's also a little hitbox right at the end that Falco can use into an up tilt and potentially into a string of up airs. Falco is definitely one of the characters who went from just kind of, there to now one of the most played offline, I think, with some of the champions like Larry Lur and Tilde performing pretty well right now. So Falco is definitely a hot topic, I think, especially versus some of the DLC characters, just because I do think that Falco definitely has a lot of tricks up the bird's sleeve for sure.
Yeah, so many ways to punish you if you're trying to mash something at a disadvantage. I mean, Falco makes you want to mash something because you're like, I just need to find a way. I need to find one little crack in this combo to escape. And then before you know it, you're sitting there buffering Rebel's Guard, and then you're falling through the air, and you're like, wait, I thought it was supposed to get hit, and Falco's there charging a smash attack. It's never a good sign. Like, honestly, I know it's not optimal, but I see a lot of use out of Falco's up smash as well. Like, it's not even that good of an up smash, but so many people love to just use it as a huge punish when they drop a combo on purpose, wait for you to fall out of it, buffering something, and then they hit you so hard.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those roll read options that you get a lot of the time. The problem is with Falco Up Smash is that there are some characters that we like to call pancake under that, where they kind of just like squish all the way down into like just basically going right into the bottom. So characters like Pikachu just pancake underneath that up smash, and sometimes that up smash doesn't even connect. So like you said, it's definitely on the lower end of optimal up smashes, and definitely I like to think probably the worst smash attack in Falco's kit. Now we did see that I believe it was Borp uh did take game number 2, so that is going to be 2-0 right now for Montgomery County Community College. Let's go Pennsylvania. But that was a long game, so I'm sure that was super, super close.
Yeah, that had to come down to the wire. And honestly, it's sort of like the cliche, but we have to talk about the comeback mechanic right there. Even when you're down a clean stock like that, the fact that Arsene can come out and more or less shorten the lifespan of Falco stocks to maybe 60 if you get the correct read at the ledge. I mean, Falco's not that heavy. If
Nope.
you get the correct read, they're just done. And especially, you don't even need the reads half the time because if you take away the double jump, if you take away the other resources and they're forced to up B, then you can get some massive punishes, especially as Joker with the use of the down guns that we saw Borp going for.
Mm. Yeah, very true. I'm interested to see where we are going to go for game 3. I do not want DD Lop to change, just personally. Of course, I want to see the bird. But since that game 2 was so close, you might as well just ride it out all the way to the end. So
Well,
let's see.
real quick, Borp won that game too. And now they're going Terry.
Ugh. Okay, Terry Bogard,
Well,
definitely a very interesting character. I mean, just at Collision 2 weeks ago, we saw that Riddles is definitely still the champion of the fighting game characters in this game for sure. Um, it's Terry is one of those very interesting characters because his gimmick is very obvious, right? He doesn't have too much ending lag on any of his moves. It really just kind of I call all of his combos just imagination combos because really you can combo anything to work with each other. And then of course you have Go Meter, which will KO you off the top at like 70 if you're jumping. I did see that DD Lop is going Marth. I completely disagree with this. Marth is a little too light, and Marth doesn't have the best killing power in the game. And you need killing
Mhm.
power when you're going up against a character who has more than enough killing power.
Yeah, that is the thing. Especially not just because they have the killing power, but also they have that go that you called out. And you want to kill Terry right around 95%. You want him gone. You want him out of here. Marth doesn't have any consistent ways to do that, and consistency is key right here. Sure, if you had an F smash at ledge, they're dead at 50. If you had an F tilt at ledge, they're dead at 90. Dancing Blade 70. How often do you see that happen every single time? You don't have a guaranteed way to do that. So, I mean, you are down 0-2. Rolling the dice is not the worst thing to do, but when you don't have amazing microspacing options in this game, it could be pretty hard. We can see, though, if DD Lop's confidence in this character is enough to get them through all that, as they struggle to eliminate the Terry before the timer ticks down and they're facing off against Go.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see how this Marth, of course, is going to be played. I know there's a lot of people that say like everybody sleeps on Marth. It's just that the counterpart to Marth in this game, Lucina, is just so much more consistent. So we are going to be going to Battlefield. This one's going to be interesting because Borp already just forks DD Lop right into the corner. But I love the way that DD Lop is playing aerially, so trying to use a lot of the forward air to essentially create some space, but also just playing a little bit more aggressive.
And at the moment, ooh, they go for an early S smash at ledge, but Borp is there with the punish after that. Stuck on the platform above. They know immediately leave that platform. Never go for a drop through platform aerial because DD Lop is thirsty for falling up air or up to.
Yep, for sure. I like how Borp is also trying to go for the Nair here. Very risky dash attack by DD Lob. But the Battlefield stage itself, the platforms are essentially stopping a lot of Borp's, burn knuckles down. It doesn't even seem to matter though, because Borp, once again, going to be able to get the early stock into another burn knuckle here. And now DD Lob just has to try and find a way in at this point.
Fishing for that with these full hop, drifting in. They're able to get a nice keeper hit off stage. Can you finish off Borp right here? Yes! They're not able to get back to stage, and the win condition that we talked about, killing Terry before he can go, is out of there.
Yeah.
DD has a chance here.
Unfortunately, Borp is going to drop a little too low to recover on that one. Going to be using the kickback to essentially now guarantee it. Back throw, though, by DD Lop here. Unfortunately, that F-tilt should have been an up-tilt. It definitely would have covered the jump there. But things are looking pretty even between both players right now. I'm sure Borp is kind of, I guess, like, reeling back just a little bit more because DD Lop is definitely swinging.
Yes. Borp is able to get the punish on all that swinging. Now they go for the Nair right at ledge, trying to steal the stock right away, akin to the F smash at ledge from earlier. But now DD Lop has managed to keep the pace even, going to try landing it. Oh no, air dodging straight to the platform. Borp clearly didn't expect that either.
Yeah, I also like the way now that DD Lop is using more of the Nairs. Great air dodge onto the stage by Borp, but okay, great air dodge to ledge there too. This should be it. It will be. Oh, and recovered 95% Kilo. You know what's coming.
Going to be struggling right here. Playing a lot around these short hops, but even that does not get them over the power wave. Falling out of that dancing blade as well. D-Lop going for one of the harder confirms with power guys. It means you're at 63% already. D-Lop, one last chance right here because another touch might just be death.
Yep, for sure. I don't want to see Borp play a little bit disrespectful. I do want to see just the run of the power geyser, especially because DD Lop is jumping so much and it's very easily to be catch here. But DD Lop trying to fight their way back in with the shield breaker. Oh, okay, you know he's going. He's looking for the confirm on the burn knuckle for sure.
Yeah, but they're making DD Lop feel very uncomfortable right here. I love that. The down tilt, what a beautiful air dodge in right there, knowing that at this percent, those down tilts are not true. DD Lop, they go for the landing counter. Woo!
Yeah, things just aren't working. Great spot dodge to the power geyser. It doesn't even seem to matter. Down throw is going to be the option here. Borp just has all the opportunities. You have the down tilt, jab, power geyser. And that is going to be a 3-0 for Montgomery Community College in the hands of Borb and Terry Bogard.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Borp right there, showing mastery of two different characters and showing why they are a major threat at Montgomery Community College. So congrats to them 100%. Now, we'd love to revel in this victory a little more, but we have another game coming up right after this. So stick around. We're going to be getting into that as soon as possible. We've got another game of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming up right after this break.